Ladies and gents, today I'm going to show you how to land a 50,000 Rand AI client here in South Africa. Someone who's never heard of you, who you've never spoken to, and actually get them to pay you. You see, there's a method to it. It's 3 separate skills. And once you master these 3 skills, you're going to have everything you need to actually monetize AI. And that's even if you've never touched a single line of code or have some computer science degree. Now, I know that this works because I run an AI agency in Cape Town, and I recently closed a UAE audit firm on the specific framework that I'm going to show you today. And that quotation was for roughly 49,800 Rand, plus a monthly retainer on top of that. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact framework I used to do that on the screen, step by step. We're going to find a business, we're going to build something for the business, and I'll show you the exact message that I would send to actually close them. So, quick bit of honesty before we begin, because I'd rather you believe everything I say than to simply just hype you up for nothing. I'm not going to use the exact name of the firm that I closed, obviously. Confidentiality, that's simply just not going to work. But what I'm going to do instead is actually come up with a hypothetical business and apply the exact same framework that I used to close the audit firm. Now, this hypothetical business is actually a local restaurant, quarter stool actually. Comment down below if you love quarters. In this example, the local restaurant is sharing the same principles that the audit firm that I closed actually had. And so if you've ever thought that AI wasn't for you, or you thought that making money with AI was for people that are overseas, you're going to want to watch this video to the end. And with all that said, let's get straight into it. Step 1 is obviously to pick a business. And the important part here is obviously not to get too big for our boots. We want to look for big corporate clients. You're not going to create an efficient AI system for PwC. You're not going to make an efficient system for MTN. It's not going to work. What you're going to look for is small to medium-sized businesses that you can offer high-quality services for. And the rule here when picking out these businesses is, does this business have an obvious pain point? And above all, do you understand the business well enough? Not do you have years of experience, but do you understand the business well enough to actually solve that pain point with some AI system? And once you have all these metrics and have an idea of who you actually want to target, you actually want to use a few AI tools that I recommend. Lindy AI, Phantom Buster, Gemini Deep Research, and even Apollo.io. So what you're actually going to use these tools for is actually just come up with highly qualified leads that have that obvious pain point, probably have some social presence, so you can actually come up with some personalized message to them. So those are the tools: Lindy AI, Phantom Buster, Gemini Deep Research. Okay, next part is to actually reach out to the client after we've done that. And look, the honest truth is the best clients always come from trust. So that's referrals, that's word of mouth, warm intros, people who already vouch for you. And that's the gold standard of business. So before you touch cold outreach, you actually want to exhaust your warm network first. So that's your family, your friends, your colleagues. Let them know what you're doing, post about it. A few people, maybe 1, maybe 2, are going to know someone who's interested in what you're doing, or even be interested in it themselves. Cold outreach is a tool that you use once you've exhausted your warm network. And now this is the framework that you actually want to use for cold outreach. Because again, you're reaching out to a random person who knows nothing about you. They're seeing your message and they're wondering, why should I respond to this? You need to give them a reason to respond. So we're not going to open with, hi, can I offer you my services? Or, hi, I saw that you don't have a website. Do you want to see a website I built for you? No, it's not going to work like that. What you want to do instead is remember what we were talking about before with Gemini Deep Research. Once you have your prospect or you have an idea of who your prospect actually is, you want to go back to Gemini Deep Research and prompt it a bit further. You want to find personalized information about this person that's publicly available on the internet. So this is posts that the specific prospect would have put up in terms of like, maybe they recently flew to Zurich. Maybe they came from some trip, some work trip. Maybe they've been posting that they actually need AI services. You're going to use Gemini Deep Research to actually go and find this information, which I found is extremely helpful and cheap as well. And after you find this information, you're going to want to tailor the message. So a good message, a good cold outreach message is usually a good mix of a personalized message, 1, and obviously a clear value proposition of what you're actually giving them. So you want to obviously tailor in, that information you got. Maybe, they flew from some work trip or something, or maybe they just, were promoted or something like that. Just reach out to them with something like, hey, name, congratulations on the recent promotion. It's amazing work that you guys are doing that side. But I did notice that you guys don't have this and that, which is the problem that you were talking about. And then simply adding something that does a call to action. So it's usually something like, I built an AI system that would sort of solve that for you guys. Do you mind if I show you a demo of it? Or do you mind if I send it over? And that's an example of, some type of message that you could send to someone. Obviously, you're going to refine it a bit, but from there, it's a good starting point. And that's skill number 1, how to actually get the clients, how to actually come up with leads for your business. Okay, and then the next step, obviously, we actually need to build this demo because, we're not just going to promise on something we're not going to deliver on. So, what you're actually going to do to build the demo, this high quality demo, is use Claude Design and Claude Code. So, what we're trying to do here is come up with a very high quality demo that immediately shows the value of what we're offering, and 2, is extremely fast to develop and easy to develop. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to Claude Design and we're going to prompt it the following. And then after it comes up with the specific design, as you see here, it's a really nice design of what we have here. Wow. So as I said, it's a local restaurant. Essentially, I've built a demo that puts everything onto one dashboard. So incoming messages versus what the AI is actually sending out, and the logic and reasoning of it actually. And now we have a rough idea of how the design of the demo should look, or the platform rather. And what we can do now is obviously go to Claude Code with this specific design. So there's 2 ways of going about this. You can actually ask Claude Design to build you the prompt to go to Claude Code with and actually build this for you, which I see is the best way, and that's what I did here. So as you can see, this is the prompt that it then gave me after I did that. And we go to Claude Code and we ask it to make it fully interactive and just make it an entire demo. And that's the final output. As you can see, well designed, yonder Pillay is there. And it's showing how it's drafting messages and actually sending the replies in real time to multiple people. So this is a really nice thing here. You can see the orders that are being tracked. I'm showing that it's live. You can actually put a custom message here as well. You can see multiple things being captured. And that's the demo that we're going to show to our client. Okay, cool. We've come up with a very good example of the demo. Now, provided we close this client and we get on a call with them, we show them our demo and they're happy with what they see, we're going to need to actually deliver on this. And so far, you haven't built the actual automation yet. What you've done is simply just come up with a demo, some static demo that Claude Code built for you. So now we need to make it interactive and ready for production. And this will actually come to the 3rd skill. So the initial skill that we did was skill 2, and that was rapid prototyping, which then leads us to our 3rd and final skill, which is automation. Now, as I said, there's 2 ways to actually deliver this. I actually get to build this with Claude Code, where it literally does all the maintenance, it does all the unit tests, it does all the security measures for production and to give this to actual people. Or you could build the backend automation using N8N. And now I know N8N does scare a few people, but as you guys know, you can actually use Claude Code to build automations with N8N using the N8N MCP. And what an MCP is simply, think of it as a connection between apps. Now the good thing here is building on N8N as the backend is going to be more beneficial for you because it's faster, it's lighter, and it's easier for you to actually see and maintain what's going on. When something breaks, you're in control of it, and you can easily put in measures to see when something actually breaks. And so going down the N8N automation path of actual delivery, you're going to want to know how to actually build this. So we're going to use the MCP route. And what we're going to do is configure the N8N MCP in Claude Code. This is what you do step by step. You go to instance level access on N8N, you open that and you enable the MCP. After you enable it, you're going to actually see that you can open the configuration as you see on my screen here. You copy that and you take that to Claude Code. It's going to configure it for you. Simply just ask it to do that. As you're attaching that message to actually configure the MCP for Claude Code, you actually want to attach the following GitHub repo. So this is the link you also want to paste in there. Okay, you've pasted that and Claude Code has actually configured the MCP for you. Now Claude Code can build workflows for you in real time simply by you asking it to. And in plain English, you can simply ask it, I need this and this, or this type of automation, or this type of automation. It's going to be able to read through the library that's on the GitHub repo and then obviously come up with a plan and build out the workflow for you. Now, I cannot stress this enough. You need to actually learn how to use N8N. You can't simply just rely on Claude Code. So it's good to understand what are the steps it's taking when it's building this stuff. You should also learn how to use it yourself, learn how to fix the stuff when it breaks, because best believe me, it will break at specific times. So it's good to learn that as well. I cannot stress it enough. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you're going to go ahead and actually deliver on the specific service. Now that that's covered, let's go ahead and talk about the closing call. So in my case, I actually got into a demo call with the firm, created a slide deck, and obviously spent like 3 minutes on the slide deck, and then went straight into actually doing the demo. I built the slide deck honestly for rapport. I mean, just getting onto a call and simply just, showing a demo that you built for them doesn't really build on that relationship with people. And business is about relationships at the end of the day. So depending on whether you actually get a call or they ask you to send the demo via maybe whatever chat you're on. If you're on a call with them, yeah, sure, you show them the demo there. If you're messaging them, again, it's the same message that we talked about before. After you send that personalized message, we're actually going to go ahead and say, do you mind if I send over what I built for you? They say yes, and you send it over. And this method works for a few reasons. Ultimately, when you're making an offer to a client, the likelihood of that thing happening has to be extremely high, and the time delay has to be extremely low. So we want to reduce the time delay of actually giving out the service, one, and then two, reducing the risk on their end and managing to inflate the dream outcome and the likelihood of achievement as much as possible, all while under-promising and over-delivering. And so this works because of that, because you're showing them immediately what they're going to get, so the likelihood of it happening is high. They can see the thing in front of them. And two, you've taken the risk off their shoulders because one, they're actually seeing it working in real time. It's not something that they're going to just hope and wish for that you can actually deliver on anymore. And once showing that quotation, it's going to be easier to actually show it and have confidence in what you're saying because they've seen the quality, they've seen the value in what you're giving them. So guys, those are the 3 skills. So we talked about how to actually get clients being the first skill. Second skill being rapid prototyping, so demoing with Claude Design and Claude Code. And then the third skill, obviously, automations where you can either use Claude Code to just build the entire thing out for you or use N8N and the automation route of using the N8N MCP and the like. Now I'm actually going to do a full breakdown of the audit firm that I closed on my free Skool community, and we're going to do that as a Q&A on Saturday at 6 p.m. So you can join the free Skool community and join that and see me do it live and just answer all your questions as well, right? And ultimately just join a community of people that are growing in the space and actively, working on AI models and stuff like that. So if you're anywhere in South Africa or anywhere in this continent really, and you're thinking that this isn't for you, trust me, it is. I'm figuring it out in real time and I'm bringing you guys along with me. So if you guys found value in this video and you enjoyed what you got from here, please subscribe. Obviously it does help me. And as always, I'm wishing you all Godspeed on your journeys. And I'll see you guys in the next one.